Take control of your mind and your thoughts and focus on your breathing. Feel the power of you, the real you, controlling your breathing. The real you is always present right now. You are more powerful than you can ever begin to imagine, because you get to focus on the greatest gift ever. Now, your presence, where your attention is being drawn to now, no matter what's going on outside your mind. Feel the power of your breathing. There are astronomical numbers of things going on in one breath. That's how powerful you are. That's how powerful your determination is. So let's use that power. Let's use that third eye, that mind's eye that we all have. Let's use it right now. And let's see ourselves doing the best we can on all the stretches and exercises today in our gym period. Gym, G-Y-M, grow your mind. And here we are in the gym of life. Growing our minds and growing our bodies. Taking control of what we truly are. Simply being. Human being, the most powerful energy thing in the universe. That's who you really are. So see yourself right now. See it in your mind. Because whatever you see in your mind, you can make real with your eyes open. Everything created with your eyes closed can be made real with your eyes open.
paradise they couldn't capture. That bright infinity inside your eyes.
매일 밤 내게 날아가 또 이런 것도 잊은 채나 웃으며 너를 만나. Never ending forever baby. You are my universe and I just want to put you first. You are my universe and you make my whole light up inside.
어둠이 내겐 더 변했었지. 길어진 그림자 속에서. And they said that we can't be together because we come from different sides.
You are my universe and I just want to put you first. You are my universe and you make my whole light up inside. My universe, my universe, my universe. 나를 밝혀주는 건 너란 사랑으로 수놓아진 별내 우주와 넌 다른 세상을 만들어주는 걸. 너는 내 별이자 나의 호주니까 지금 이 시련도 결국엔 잠시니까. 너는 언제까지나 지금처럼 밝게만 빛나줘. 우리는 너로 따라 이긴 밤을 수놓고 너와 함께 날아가. When I'm without you I'm crazy. 자 어서 내 손을 잡아. We are made of each other baby. You are my universe and I just want to put you first. You are my universe and you make the whole light up inside. My universe, my universe, my universe.
Tiago Ferreira, boas chances ali para o 17 da equipa da casa. Que golaço para Maiga. Lance trabalhado pela equipa do Trofense e a formação da casa está.
Good morning, guys. Today, Will Smith, in the top 10 rules for success, shares his first rule, and that is improve yourself. And he gives an example of how every morning when he wakes up, his number one goal and purpose is to prepare himself to work on himself to help others. And he realized that this is the most important thing, is improving ourselves, improving himself, because he's going to affect everyone around him. And the same goes with you. So the more that we work to improve ourselves, the more that we will improve things around us and those around us. So it's the most beautiful relationship in nature. So the more you improve yourself and give of yourself, the more that feeds back on you, improves you, and then it improves those around us. So we have to take an example from Will Smith and just work on our mind, body, and soul every single day when we wake up, for ourselves and for each other. Have a great morning, everyone.
I want to talk to you today about how we can find meaning and fulfillment, but also it's geared around this let's finish strong mentality. But I had a moment to think about this, and the last like 5 or 6 days, I do this when I prepare for you guys. I sit back and I think about like, what do I want my heart to say? I don't think about how to teach. I'm like, what I want my heart to say, what I want to kind of have transmute into your world. And I sat with this thought and I said, if we're going to talk about meaning and fulfillment, I would like to start with first, like, well, Why do we not have it sometimes? What might rob us of it? Here's what I want to talk about that I think there's like three things that I've found that are basic, but I think rob us of this experience. And one to begin with is false anchors. Now, I talk about identity, and I believe we have identity anchors, things that anchor us to who we are, how we show up, what we do. And I believe that sometimes we rob ourselves of great meaning because we have the wrong or false anchors, which comes from us looking at this world and going, look, man, I didn't achieve what she achieved. I didn't get done what he got done. And I'm not where they're at. And I expected to be so much farther along. And so I have this anchor that's tied to this one thing. But because I don't have that thing, I don't feel like I have meaning. I don't feel like I'm fulfilled because I don't feel like the work I did panned out, we'll call it. And I think it's because we're sometimes placing our energy and our anchor in the wrong anchors. Here's an example. There are areas of our life where like we go into something thinking we must do it the way so-and-so did it. If we do it the way they did, I'll get the return. I found this out early on that it doesn't work that way. So when I first started this industry in this world, I want to come speak and share and pour my heart out. And I found other people that were doing things. And I was like, man, I'm enamored by this. I love this. I'm going to do what they do. And so what happened is I would do a bunch of like adjustments to who Anthony was to fit the box of the rough and rugged former NFL guy, like, you know, that kind of guy. And then I see Brendan, he's like happy, and I'm right. And just these things I would try to do them and they wouldn't fit. Now they fit for those people because they are those people, but my anchor at the time was tied to doing things the way they did them. And because of this false anchor, I had a poor perspective of self. I felt like the work I was doing wasn't meaningful. I felt like I wasn't fulfilled because I wasn't getting the return. And it took me a moment to sit back and go, look, I can't be them, but I could do me real good. How do I figure out how to do me? And that was one of the things that was a really big piece for me to uncover that I'm teaching you right now is you have to take a look at your life and say, let me look and see what doesn't seem to fit. What feels like a shoe on the wrong foot? What is not really settling in the right way? And this is something where you have to do the deep work on your own and sit there and go, what have I been trying that I might have to pull the ego back and go, I shouldn't have been doing that. I should have spent time there. It's not my thing. And when you give yourself this grace and this permission to not be perfect, you find this kind of like this ease, like this, I feel a little bit lighter. And that lightness helps you progress to the next stage. Now, number two, I think we have sometimes poor perspectives on things. This again ties to the area of us having this, I think, comparison issue. So there are perspectives that we will sometimes lead in with. And what we're doing is looking back at this year. We're looking back at the year going, what did I accomplish? What did I get done? Some things I'm sure were amazing. Some things not so great. Myself, I have these things also. I'm human. But the idea is when I sit back and I go, where did I not go? What did I not accomplish? What did I not achieve? I don't give it the perspective of I'm not good enough. And here's a reason why you have to. And it's logic, but we don't live in this logical space sometimes. What I found is we sometimes, again, have a perspective of where we should be based on things that we might know over somebody else, or we might have experience over somebody else, or I've earned this because I put the work in this area. But there is so much that you never see. There's so many things that are going on around somebody else's life and their experience that you may not know, a mentor they might have that they don't tell anybody about, an experience they had that gives them some knowledge in an area that nobody else knows about. And so what we're doing is giving a poor perspective on an outcome based on a comparison to somebody else. So again, this takes us and robs us of this fulfillment, this meaning of the energy we are putting forth towards something simply because we have given something a poor perspective. And the third one, this is going to be one to poke, and honestly, it's going to be one to measure against the people in your life. I have a lot of humans in my life. I love my humans. Brendan's one of my humans. I have amazing family that are my humans. I have great friends. Like I have these amazing people. However, every year I seem to find that I start a new year with less friends. Now, I'm not saying you have to do this in any way, but there's a reason why this happens. At the end of the year, I don't know if you guys do this, but we get prepared. If you have a business for like financials and taxes, and I take a look and go, what expenditures did I make that I didn't need to make? I'm looking at the financial aspect. And then I take a look at my life and go, where was I giving more energy? Where were there more withdrawals than deposits into my life? And I'm talking about actual people. Where are people in your life showing up and withdrawing more than they're depositing? Because what happens is if we feel that drain, that pull from us, and we don't get filled back up, we start feeling less than because this person doesn't respect us. And then what happens is that energy, we live from it. And so I found that for me, there are times when I step back and I go, yeah, this person withdrew a lot from my life and they didn't deposit very much. And while I love them, I'm going to do that love from a distance this year. And it's a decision you actually have to make because doing this gives you a little bit of a pride for self. You feel better and you give yourself an opportunity to get more fulfilled because this transaction you're making, when you're here in this box and someone's withdrawing and depositing, you are diminishing your ability to be in another area of relationship that's depositing and withdrawing at an equal level. So this area is blocking this one. So it allows you to have the space to get more of those deposits into your life in an amazing area. So that's what I found some of the reasons that we get robbed. And then I now want to talk about the areas that we get our meaning and fulfillment. And we're all different. This is the good thing about life. We are all different. There's beauty in the difference. That's why, like on Thanksgiving, I don't stack my plate with just turkey. I have turkey and I have the mashed potatoes and I have gravy and I have the stuffing. I don't do cranberry sauce. It's just weird. I don't do that. But I do sweet potatoes. Oh, I love sweet potatoes. But there's a plethora of different colors and mixtures. And so that difference is amazing. And so when I look at these things, I go, well, if I'm looking at meaning, where am I getting my meaning from? Where am I having these differences tie into my life in a great way? And I believe that sometimes we tie our meaning and fulfillment to the wrong areas. And I think what we have to look at is you have to, in a certain space of looking at this stage of getting to your meaning, is where are you having the right people and achievements tied to your personal meaning? Now, people and achievements are big. I think that people are the things that make life amazing, and achievements are great because you get to share them with the people that make life amazing. And I know you have goals and aspirations why you're here, growing yourself to reach that next level, to access whatever tier is meant for you past this point here. But the idea is I want you to think about is where are you actually garnering and getting your meaning and your fulfillment in a sense of what is the thing giving you feedback that makes you go, yes, I did it right. I feel great. Now, while I talked about removing other people, right? We talked about having someone in your life that's withdrawing. Where do I put people in? How do I find the right people that give me a sense of fulfillment and meaning? And if it's not about getting new people, it's about taking a look at the people already in your life and saying, how do I make a better relationship here? Like, how do you reconnect and rekindle a love that maybe is kind of there, but it's not sparked and on fire? How do you find better communities to be part of, like Growth Day, and really invest in the community and energy and engagement, sharing with other people in the world you know to bolster the human connections you have, right? How do we actually find that meaning? Because for me, my meaning, my fulfillment comes from my family and the people I choose to call family. This morning I got up and I got about an hour before my wife and I was doing work, and then she came down and her back's been bugging her. She runs track. And so I spent about 30 minutes before getting dressed to come hang out with you guys, doing like a whole ultrasound on her back and sticking little sticky pads on. Like, I find fulfillment in doing that for my relationship. I find meaning in my wife's life for doing this. You see what I'm saying? The people you pour in. Now, the other part of it is achievements. When we do something and we have this outcome on the back end of our actions, we will find a meaning from the achievement or lack thereof. So if I put effort and energy into something, I get that outcome. I go, oh, look at me. I won a game. I won a Super Bowl. I got that client. I built the business. Right? But for some reason, I put the energy and effort in and I don't have that. What I do is I go, oh man, what this means I'm not that great. This means maybe I'm not that. And here's what I want to give as a thought. And I love this. Someone shared with me years ago. And here's a thought that has garnered so much freedom for me. No moment has any meaning except the meaning we place upon it. Repeat this because this one's helped me immensely. No moment has any meaning except the meaning we place upon it. So what I have found is when I place the meaning of may help my wife, that meaning is like I show up. I mean a lot to her life. But if something goes off and goes wrong, like yesterday, nobody knows this. I had 4 disturbingly unsettling situations pop up and I'm still dealing with them. But I gave it a different meaning. I said, you know what? These are Cadillac problems. I get to enjoy life still. Like, I get to come hang out with you. It can't be all that bad. I don't let that trickle in and give it a different meaning that tears me down. So when you look at the achievements you have and something doesn't go right, don't give it the meaning that drags your soul out. Give it the meaning of, you know what? It's strengthening me. It's teaching me something as a lesson I need to have that's going to propel me to the next stage or give me an asset of a skill set to apply at this next level thing that I don't even know is coming just yet. So providing a different meaning is very, very big when it comes to this.
it again. Right foot.
Na frente do marcador aos 17 minutos.
Jean Carlos nie zdecydował się na strzał z voleja i miał rację. Przyjął piłkę, uderzył znakomicie. 38 minuta. 1-1, ale cudowny gol Jeana Carlosa.
Good afternoon, guys. As we go on this path to try to improve ourselves each and every day, we have to remember, as Les Brown has shared with us before, and it's a powerful statement, and it's worth repeating. You are the one. You are the one that has to take full responsibility for improving yourself. And there's going to be endless ways you can improve yourself. And so look at your day today, right now, where you are. What is there? Where is there one area, one thing, one choice, having looked back on your day, that you could have done something differently where it would have turned out in a different way? Think about just one example today. And with that same power of that one different decision, imagine applying that each and every moment, every single day, and never giving up on that. You'll see profound changes. Have a great afternoon, everyone.
I remember talking to my dad and telling my dad, as a little girl, when I grow up, I'm going to be an actress, I'm going to be writing. And every report card came with, she talks too much. If you don't know what I'm saying, let me explain this to you. I am Nigerian. And in Nigeria, back in the day, you had to be a doctor, a lawyer, or a nobody. That was what reigned. So I went to med school because that was the easiest way for me. In my heart, I always wanted to speak. My whole life, I have done things for other people. But this time, I want to do for me who I truly am. Because here's what I know. If I don't do me, the world is going to miss out. And you as well. Can you imagine a world without Einstein? Or can you imagine a world without Steve Jobs? Oh, you are the Steve Jobs of your life. There's something you have to contribute that you're not contributing, just like me. Yes, I'm a physician, I do a good job. But can you imagine what our lives will be in 1 year if only we step out and be ourselves?
So we're here, Dr. O, she's part of the mastermind and doing our one-on-one together. So what do you got, Dr. O? How can I help?
Ooh. So when I first met you, I think it was 2019 or 2020. I think it was 2019 first, before we went to Puerto Rico with Brendan. I have a YouTube channel because I like to talk.
It's a good start.
So that I like to talk, and I, as a little girl, on my report card, the constant on my report card was talks too much, and but it kept coming out. And so when I met you, I was like, dang, this is the guy that does the YouTube channel deal, and I really want to have a YouTube channel because I really know that people listen when what you say affects their lives.
Mm-hmm.
And when they see that they can make results, and if it's simple. But I couldn't figure out how to communicate what I really wanted to do because I had so many things rolling in my head. I'm a physician because my dad was. I'm a people person. So in that world, it's a little different than the world that I want to build. I want to build a world where people do what they love so that they are not doing any work. Because I notice in healthcare, a lot of people are good task, but they have no people skills at all. And people are people. If you don't treat them right, they can't get well.
Mm-hmm.
If you treat them right with little medicine, they get well, just like the nuns did. And that's what I want to do in healthcare. because that's my niche. At first, I didn't want to do the niche thing. You know, I think I have this rebel streak in me. You know, it's like, I think I do. I have this rebel streak in me. If you tell me to do something, it's like, can I find a way to kind of get to the edge? Yeah, so I think I can blame my parents for that. My parents were outliers. My mom went to school first time when she was 12. She did things a little different. And I think they gave me the freedom to be me.
Mm-hmm.
In healthcare, there's no freedom to be you. You have to cookie cutter, and it doesn't work. People do not come like a machine. People are unique, even though we're universal. And my messaging is this. Look, everybody wants to be heard, and everybody wants to know that they matter, no matter where they're from, no matter whether they're sick or not. And in healthcare, we don't have that messaging. It's a little different, and I want to change that, especially for the healthcare providers, because I believe you can't give what you don't have. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's my main thing. And a lot of us have burnt out even before COVID, but COVID has taken a toll on us. That's my messaging. But before, I was running from medicine because I just couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. But now I'm real clear, especially women physicians. That's who I really want to address, because we have the load of both medicine and life, being women. And that's still, I'm a woman, that's all I know. And I think I need to start from what I know first. So
I think you've got a really powerful message and a really powerful voice. And even though you haven't been consistent on making content and being a speaker, you've been speaking your whole life. And now it's turning that into something that actually has a much bigger impact than I'm sure when you speak with people one-on-one, you change their life. It's now, how do we take that message and bring it to millions of people? How happy are you being a physician? Like, could you do it for 5 more years?
No.
Okay.
I can't. I'm being a physician now out of habit. And I have to be honest. I'm actually way better than I've ever been as a physician, because I'm actually scripting what I want physicians to be like in my own life. Mm-hmm. So it's like when I go to work now, it's like I see myself looking down at myself, acting who I want a physician to be. You see what I mean? Like, I'm actually scripting and acting like I want a physician to be like. But it's tearing me to bits. I'm exhausted. Like, like I can do it because I've done it, but I'm just a robot. And I think that's a disservice to me and my patients, because...
Is it your own practice, or you work at a hospital? Or
I'm an emergency room physician, and the emergency room in the United States where I work is very toxic.
Yeah.
Toxic among physician to physician, physician to other parts of the team. When I go to work, I make a difference, but I think I'll make a much greater difference if I can teach physicians and what I know. Mm-hmm. See what I mean? Like, almost like if I duplicate myself as opposed to me being in the practice. But I can't figure that out. I tell myself I can't figure it out because I tell stories all the time, so I'm not sure which one it is.
If you started consistently making content, you have a chance to be a really powerful voice for your industry, and I think beyond. You have to get consistent. Dr. O, like everything else, we got to stay consistent. But it's also, it takes time. Like, even if you're really good, it takes time. Not just getting comfortable on the camera, but honing the message, being concise, clear, building the brand, all that takes time. And we can help do that. The question becomes, in the time that it takes to build that brand and turn it into something, what do we do to make money? And so if you don't want to be a physician in the next 5 years, we need to figure out a different way to monetize your expertise. is there another physician role that's not ER, that is at a better company, that respects what you do, that pays you better, that you're not working as many crazy hours, it's not as toxic?
I used to be a family physician, and the reason I did ER was, with the ER, I have more control over my time. Like, it's shift work. So I can decide I don't want to work. Like, if I was a family physician, I could be in Toronto, because probably my boss would be like, we don't have anybody to cover your shift.
Yep.
Because I'm a family physician, but because I'm an ER physician, I blocked the time and said, I'm not available. So it's a little different. The only thing I know that is direct physician is to be a physician leader, which means I'm going to be corporate, and I hate corporate. I'm not cut out for admin at all, because they're so far removed from reality, in my opinion. I believe that the one thing that I should do, which I am shied away from, is coach physicians. And honestly, I'm used to sending my resume and getting a job, even though I'm an independent contractor. And I'm talking to myself as I'm talking now to say, you got to ask for the money. My problem is I don't ask for the money. Do I coach people? Yes, I do. But I don't get paid because I never ask for the money. You see what I mean? Like, so it's not, as of today, it's not a viable source for me because I never ask for the money. I don't have an offer to ask for the money.
Yeah. And we could work on that. Or, like, those are your two paths. You become an entrepreneur while you're building your brand, you're becoming an entrepreneur and learning the skills of creating the coaching program and asking for the money and sales and all that stuff. Or it's get a better job to support what you're doing in a less toxic environment that's more fun, while still making your content. Because ultimately with your message and your voice, it's hard to know where you're going to end up. Like, magical things will happen. Whether you're speaking on stage, writing books, being on TV, having your own show, creating your own products, being on boards of directors for companies that are in the healthcare space. Like, if you become the voice for an industry, so many things open up that you can't even, imagine. Like, it's being open to the magical world of what could be. But none of that happens if you're not making content and getting the message out, right? I mean, it's inside you, but now we have to show the world that you can create this. So that has to happen, for you, right? Like, you're a speaker, let's see you speaking. But in the process of that taking 3 years to build up, what are we doing to make money? And it's either be an entrepreneur and learn how to sell, which may not be comfortable. It's definitely uncomfortable, but maybe what you want to do, maybe you want to have coaching clients, maybe that's a path you want to take, or get a better job. Which do you want to do for the next 3 years?
I think I'm 62 years old, and yesterday I was 62 and 1 month. So for me, I'm like, all right, girlfriend.
I like you call yourself girlfriend. That's great.
I mean, I talk to myself. I mean, I'm like, all right.
But you call yourself girlfriend. That's great.
I'm like, all right, girlfriend.
I don't call myself boyfriend.
Well,
so that's good.
I'm like, all right, girlfriend. You're playing.
It's great. I like it.
And I said to myself, I was like, how do you show your children that there's another way other than going to college and waiting for a gold watch? Because right now, what I'm doing is I'm telling my kids, you go to college, whatever you went to college for, that's what you do the rest of your life. So for me, I have put a spin on it that has helped me. And I said, the only way I can show my children is for me to be my voice. And for me to be
like I'm living a dream, but it's how everyone feels. We all unite with one feel. So let's wave our hands. We can sing,
We can dance, we are strong. Hold on tight from afar. We unite. Ah, yeah, here we go, ah, yeah. This is the time of our lives. Ah, yeah, here we go, ah, yeah. This is the time of our lives. This is the time of our lives. Ah, yeah, here we go, ah, yeah. This is the time of our lives. Ah, yeah, here we go, ah, yeah. This is the time of our lives. I love this moment right now. No one can take it away. So let it happen and how. It's why I cherish each day. So let's wave our hands. We can sing, we can dance. We are strong. Hold on tight from afar. We unite.
Here we go.
Ah, yeah, here we go, ah, yeah. This is the time of our lives. Ah, yeah, here we go, ah, yeah. This is the time of our lives. Ah, yeah, here we go, ah, yeah. This is the time of our lives. Ah, yeah, here we go, ah, yeah. This is the time of our lives. What we see, destiny. Realize now we all know the greatest. Ah, yeah, here we go, ah, yeah. This is the time of our lives. Ah, yeah, here we go, ah, yeah. This is the time of our.
Tchouameni able to get a shot away, and it's a glorious goal. The world champions take control.
Good evening, guys. As we live, laugh, and love our way to infinite mind wealth, I'm reminded of an example that I've heard Will Smith and a few others share before. And it is the example of when we're trying to improve ourselves and we're trying to grow and become better and be good people every single day, be the best people we can be, you have to look at it through an example of like emptying the ocean with a ladle. When you actually visualize that, you know, it seems ludicrous and ridiculous, but it's funny in one sense because it provides the example of, even though you have this small ladle and you're just slowly trying to remove, let's say, droplets of negativity in the world, each and every time you do it, you make progress, even though it might seem insurmountable. But it's a reminder of how much work there is to be done, and we're all in it together. Have a great evening, everyone.
The high five habit has taught me how to truly be fulfilled and be connected to myself, to support myself. And that's what you need right now. You can't rely on anything outside of you. You cannot rely on the world fixing itself. You have to find your power inside you. When you know that you can have your own back, and when you know that you can literally move the needle on anything through your own attitude and your own effort, you will have a sense of confidence you've never experienced before. Does the high five habit serve as a reset for our brains? Yes, it does. In fact, it does something even more profound than a reset for your brain. It hits the reset button on that, and more importantly, it programs in an entirely new soundtrack as it relates to how you see yourself. And you want to know the coolest part, everybody? You don't have to say a darn thing. Your body and your mind are designed to do this for you.
Need motivation?
You better watch a Top 10 with Believe Nation.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I make these videos because I need them, because I want to wake up every single day and get pushed by somebody who's doing a lot more than me. And in watching their videos, it inspires me to be bolder, to have more courage, and to go chase down the life of my dreams. And I hope it does the same for you. So today, let's learn from one of the best, Mel Robbins, and my take on her top 10 rules of success. Enjoy.
So after you wake up, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you get up, and then I make my bed, you go high five to the heart, you got a calm nervous system. Now I want you to walk into the bathroom. And when you walk into the bathroom and you stand with yourself in front of the mirror, I want you to take a moment, okay? And I want you to just be with yourself. Because I guarantee you right now, you have a habit that is part of your morning routine. And that habit that you have that's part of your morning routine is the opposite of a high five. This is the part of your morning routine, you know, where you're brushing your teeth and you basically check out and you start to bash your appearance, or you ignore yourself, or you think about the day ahead and you automatically think about everything that's about to go wrong or that you haven't done. This is the part of your morning routine that is a habit where your mindset goes negative. And so what I want to do is I want you to create a brand new, deliberate and intentional habit right after you brush your teeth, because you got to clean those teeth of yours. You know, you cannot go out in the world with dragon breath every day. You got to clean the teeth. The second that you put your toothbrush down, now we are going to do the high five habit. And I want you to do it right after you brush your teeth, because science tells us when you stack a new habit with something you already do every day, it makes it much easier for your brain to remember it and for it to become part of your subconscious routine. So as you put the toothbrush down and you stand there, I want you to take a minute and I want you to look at yourself and look past your body. There's a human being in there, a human being that has been waiting for you to wake up and look them in the eyes and start showing up and supporting and cheering and celebrating them. And as you look at yourself, I want you to think about something. Who are you going to be today for that person? How are you going to show up today for the person you see reflected in the mirror? And as you think about your life and what matters to you and what your goals are, what's the game that you're playing? How are we going to inch the ball down the field today? Because remember, I believe that productivity is about making progress on something that matters to you. So what is the game you're playing today that matters to you, and how are we going to inch the ball down the field? And once you've set that intention, which based on recent research, everybody, all you need is just a minute of intentional reflection about how you're going to show up today and who you're going to be. And based on research, it increases your productivity. It changes how you behave, and it increases the impact that you have on those folks around you.
Rule number 2 is forgive yourself.
When you catch yourself procrastinating, forgive yourself. Step 1. The next time you catch yourself procrastinating, step 1 is forgive yourself. And there's a really profound reason why. Procrastination is not about laziness. It's not about a lack of discipline. It's not something you do because you're dumb. Procrastination is a coping mechanism. You just have a desire to feel good right now, and you deserve that. You have a desire to lessen the stress in your life, and you deserve to lessen the stress in your life. I get it. And this first step, to forgive yourself, this comes from research from Dr. Peikel. By the way, he has been studying procrastination for 2 decades. I mean, just imagine that. studying procrastination for 2 days. That is a dedicated person right there, and we thank you for your service to all of us. His research found that people who forgive themselves are less likely to procrastinate again. In fact, there was a study that he did. I want to turn to the page. I got the book right here. He co-authored a paper about how students who forgave themselves for procrastinating were less likely to procrastinate on their next test. It sounds silly, but part of the problem that psychologists have uncovered is that when you're somebody that procrastinates, you're really hard on yourselves to begin with. In fact, being hard on yourself is one of the major causes of why you're so damn stressed. And so taking a moment and forgiving yourself, and you've got to actually have a talk with yourself where you are sitting there like, oh my God, 2 hours just went by? Wow, I must be really stressed out. I forgive myself for just blowing off 2 hours on social media. And you know what? I can spend the next hour setting my day up tomorrow for success. Or maybe you see all your bills and you realize you haven't opened those suckers in 2 months. Just go, wow, I haven't opened my bills in 2 months? I must be really nervous about this. I forgive myself for not doing that. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just do the best that I can. I'm going to face this head on. Because the next step that you're going to take, once you forgive yourself, you got to recognize that you're doing it. Why? Because patterns and habits repeat unless you replace them. And so noticing that it's a pattern, catching yourself, forgiving yourself, that is a way we're going to break this pattern.
Rule number 3 is eliminate negative thoughts.
What you're dealing with when you have imposter syndrome is you're dealing with a lack of self-worth. You literally kind of see all the things working out, but you've got this like annoying voice in your head that's saying, you don't deserve this. This is luck. How many of you have that story? This is luck. This is going to run out. This isn't due to me. Yeah, we got to literally destroy that voice. That is from your past. And part of the reason why you have that voice, by the way, is because of racism. It's because of discrimination. It's because of childhood trauma. It's because of various experiences that you've had, where either your experiences growing up or society at large has made you feel either overtly or in a really like gross and sort of sly way like you don't belong. And so it is critical for you to start to punch that voice literally out of your head. And I'm going to give you some steps to do it, okay? The second thing that's really important is that in addition to stopping down that voice, because it's not your voice, that is somebody else's voice that your brain listened to and then started repeating. And the thing about your brain is that your brain is this really cool computer that learns patterns. And what I want you to understand is that patterns repeat unless you break and replace them. And if you have a pattern of thinking, like what Heidi has, that says, you're not worthy, you don't deserve this, luck is going to run out, at some point, the you know what's going to hit the fan again, brace, don't count on anything, like you didn't earn this. If you got that pattern running in your head, that is a broken pattern. You're not broken. That pattern of thinking is broken. And so the line in the sand that I want to draw starting today is you're not allowed to listen to that garbage anymore. We are going to go on a mission together to notice whenever it comes up, oh, interesting, there it is. There's that pattern. It's spinning, just like a load of laundry, right up there. And I'm going to teach you, once you recognize that pattern, you're going to use this thing that I created called the 5-second rule. You're going to count backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, because that shuts that down. And counting backwards, let's all do it together. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now notice when you counted, did you feel a little pressure right here? Yeah, that was me hypnotizing you. No, I'm just kidding. What you were feeling is by counting backwards, it's a little brain hack that interrupts all the garbage that's here in the interior part of your brain. This is where imposter syndrome lives, everybody. This is where anxiety is. This is where self-doubt is. This is where self-criticism is. This is where it's all stored. When you notice, oh, there's that voice again, and you count backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you shut it down, and then you awaken this part of your brain. This is the part of the brain that you used when you were taking the SATs. This is the part of the brain that you used when you applied for that job, when you speak up in that meeting, when you tell somebody, no, you cannot borrow my dress tonight. No. When you have boundaries, right? This is the part of the brain that gives you immediate control over what you think and do next.
Rule number 4 is build a partnership with yourself.
And we end as we begin. Legs crossed, back straight, eyes closed. Breathing in through our nose and out through our mouth. Well, the truth is, there's no ending. There's no beginning. Today we started, beginning like we always do, with our eyes closed, imagining going into the future. Only you can do that. Only we can do that. It's all possible through the power of our mind and our thoughts. But we have to control that mind and those thoughts. Because even they are not who we really are. To control our minds, to master our minds, we have to simply be here, now, present. That's our super determination. Imagine all of us united with our thoughts, mind and body as one, all together, right now. That in itself is infinite intelligence. So as we end today, with our eyes closed, our back straight, our legs crossed, we know the truth. We're not really ending. It's never really over. We were all born to win. To be happy, peaceful, loving, kind, caring, mind wealthy, no matter what. That's the truth. The way we do that is now. Right now.